As I start this Friday video report, it's a time of reflection. My time here in Atlanta, where I've been renting for the summer, is coming to an end. Got to hit the road and drive across the country again for the first, actually I've got to do it twice in the next 10 days to move 2 cars across the country. But my time is drawing to an end, and with it, I have to say goodbye. To who? No, not quite to who. To what would be the actual question here if you happen to be on Jeopardy. And the answer would be the thermostat over that shoulder and the wall plate over that shoulder. Great apartment. Not one that I would take for a long-term basis because it's made for, I think a bunch of millennials, or maybe in the old days they used to call them yuppies. But it's got this gourmet kitchen. I get as gourmet as the George Foreman grill and the microwave and lean cuisines out of the freezer, okay? That's gourmet to me. This is like this massive gourmet kitchen. I'm actually working here on a island which, has everything built into it. It must be about 8 foot long. You can easily we've got 7 bar stool chairs, big ones, around this island, and there's still extra room. It's the focal point of the whole damn apartment. Not my cup of tea, but a great workspace. I don't even use my office in this place. But every single day, I've been joined by that thermostat and that wall switch, and I'm going to miss those guys. It's touching, isn't it, how I feel about these inanimate objects? Okay, listen, going into Thursday's video report, I'd gone a perfect 2-0 with my complimentary plays, 11 of the previous 14 days, and then, alas, I took a split last night. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I went 1-1. Hit with the Phillies over the Atlanta Braves, lost with Baltimore against Detroit, which means over the past 19 days, I've only won 31 out of 37 free plays for you. So damn it, you'll have to live with it. 31 out of 37. And the best bets last night, well, actually, let me come back to the best bet because I want to talk about last night in baseball because it was a wild night last night. Who says that offenses died here? Oh, well, maybe if you're a St. Louis Cardinals fan, it certainly has all season long. But listen, how about the San Diego Padres? They're down 7-1 at Citi Field against the Mets going into the 7th inning, and they end up winning the game 8-7. I mean, the Padres are lucky to score 8 runs in a 4-game stretch, right? They win the game. You had 14 teams with at least 10 hits last night. You had the Tigers get 9 runs and 16 hits at Baltimore and win, right? You get Colorado having 16 hits and the Rockies lose. You get the Cardinals to have 14 hits. That's like a 3-game output normally for the St. Louis offense, and they win. A weird game, in fact. They won because Greg Garcia had a bases-loaded walk to cap a 3-run rally in the bottom of the 9th to win 9-8 against the Rockies, right? You got the Red Sox, who had been swept in the first 3 games at home against the White Sox. A White Sox team that had won 11 out of 12 on the road going into last night's game at Fenway. Were seeking their first 4-game sweep at Fenway since 1927. 1927. Well, guess what? History did not repeat itself because the Red Sox banged out 13 hits and beat up Chris Sale in the process and stopped the White Sox, who had been 7-0 on their current road trip going into that game. But as far as I'm concerned, the biggest game last night and the strangest game, it happened to do with my best bet. I was going for a 4th straight dog winner, okay? And I had upped the ante. After hitting all these 10-dime plays, I was going for my 15-dime dog of the month, part number 2. And a 15-dime play is my top-rated selection. Well, I had the Astros last night. And as I told you in the analysis, if you got the play yesterday, you could have and I could have taken the Astros minus $1.45 on the money line at home. But the way they had been playing at home, the way their offense had been clicking, the way the Angels had been struggling, going 1-5 after that 17-3 run, and the fact that Matt Shoemaker, the Angels pitcher, had really been lousy on the road with an earned run average over 4.5 the past 2 years combined, I thought it was a great spot to take the Astros and take a shot with them on the money line as a $1.55 underdog. Because I had Scott Kazmir going. He was brilliant for them one day after being acquired for Oakland with 7 shutout innings at Kansas City, and now a Houston native was coming back home to make his debut for the hometown team. Well, that was all great, and that was all fine. Problem is that it was a nothing game going into the bottom of the 9th inning. And what happens? Boom. Castro of the Astros, 2 out, 3-run, walk-off homer, gives me the win 3-0. All my years betting run line plays, only 3 times have I won a run line play where my team was scoreless or trailing going into the bottom of the ninth inning. Because as I always like to tell you guys, it's very hard to win a run line play when your team doesn't score any runs. So I just want to say thank you to Mr. Castro for making me a winner last night and allowing me to win for the 13th time in 19 days overall. Also, I'll tell you what, guys, not only have the free plays and the best bets been profitable here for you, but, I've told you in the past that March Madness, when it rolls around, that I think any handicapper worth a grain of salt that does his work always has an inherent advantage over anybody else playing office pools and playing brackets, because we are looking at all these teams from all these conferences every single day from the start of the season. Well, the same thing goes in baseball. And I used to be an avid fantasy league player, season-long fantasy many years ago, and I had stopped playing. But this summer I thought, I'm not living at home. I had a lot of free time on my hand. I'm handicapping every single game. I know these pitchers like the back of my hand. I'm reading box scores every single day. So I started playing over at fantasyfeud.com probably about 2.5 months ago. I have won money 13 of the last 17 days. I wonder if they'll bar me from the site. Maybe I'm now known as a shark at the site. Who knows? But, it's so much fun. I know the NFL is okay with fantasy sports because it's a game of skill. They're not okay with us, what I do, because it's a game of chance. I beg to differ. I say it's actually the opposite. I think there's more chance involved with fantasy and drafting a team than there is with what I do, and there is far more skill required to win and make money in sports betting than there is at Fantasy Feud. So I look at fantasy as simply a thing to do. It's another way. It's like, to me, I look at fantasy as kind of like playing prop plays for the Super Bowl. It's a little way to put a little extra money down on the game with some high returns, and if you do your homework and you do well, you can make money. And I've been doing it in baseball because, again, I think I have an inherent advantage. I've been thinking about this for a while. We might run some contest or something where maybe, you guys enter and it's beat me. And we might do something like that here. I'll try to come up with some stuff here for you in the next few days or so and start doing it in conjunction with them, because I like the site. I mean, I put together my team probably in less than 5 minutes. I would think most people probably take longer. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, I'm looking at things and I don't look back. I never lament. I just move forward and push forward. And when I pick out my team, I'm locked in. And afterwards, I never have buyer's remorse. But that's what makes it fun, because it shouldn't be something that you're wasting hours and hours on. I don't understand these guys that, spend forever handicapping fantasy teams. If you're going to do that, you might as well be a sports bettor every single day. I think fantasy, though, is so cool because, listen, we are all in this thing that we do called gambling. We're all in it because of the addictive nature, because of the vicarious thrill that we get from winning. It's the ups and downs. It all factors into it. And fantasy, to me, is just an extension of it. And I truly believe, just like baseball is the easiest sport to make money in from a gambling perspective, it's the easiest sport to make money in from a fantasy perspective, because you're not sitting there 6 days later and doing your NFL team. You're doing it every single day. It's why I like fantasy NBA as well. I know a lot of guys probably don't, but I love both of those sports. So anyway, we'll talk more about fantasy in the upcoming days. Listen, guys, remember, because the Charity Play of the Week won courtesy of Jeff Benden 2 nights ago, you can still save $125 off the purchase price of any handicapper's 30-day package by using coupon code SAVE125, SAVE125, or you can save $50 off the purchase of any handicapper's 7-day package by using coupon code SAVE50, SAVE and the number 50. Half price play of the day is going to be Trace Adams, who is going for winning day number 27 of 37. $1 bettors have won $24,000 the past 36 days. That's a nice return on your investment. Normally, 1,000-star releases is top-rated play. Today, double your wager. 2,000-star winner number 9 out of 13 is NL Central Game of the Year, Pirates and Reds. Not only has he won 26 of the past 36 days, but 25 times this is going to be in that period where you've gotten his plays at a huge discount. It's the half price play of the day by using coupon code TRACE, TRACE. Also, FYI, save $60 on the latest 100-dime play from Gabriel DuPont. 22-10 with 100-dime plays here over the past year. 100-dime AL Game of the Year, Indians and A's, 9:30 start. You save $60 by using coupon code 100-DIMER. That's 100-DIMER. This is what he's done for you. $10 bettors the past 3 weeks, past 21 days, they're up $2,600. Since mid-April, up 12 grand. This year in all sports, up over $18,800 or $18,400. Since last Thanksgiving, up over $24,000. And with 50 dime plays or higher, a major wager release for Gabriel DuPont. Since he joined this site, February of 2014, right after the Super Bowl, $10 bettors, up over $32,000. Another one going today. All your other promos, etc., are over on the homepage. Let's get to your complimentary plays here for today's card. First game, I'm going to go with Kansas City minus $1.20 at Toronto. I know the Blue Jays have just been revamping their roster like crazy, but listen, Kansas City made the move. They had to get an ace. They got one. Even if he's a rental ace, they got one in Johnny Cueto from the Cincinnati Reds. In 5 starts this month for the Reds, 3-1, but more importantly, a 1.59 earned run average, allowing just 21 hits in 34 innings of work. He had a 2.87 earned run average in June. This month, it's 1.59, okay? Batters are hitting 196 against him this season. And he had a little extra day's rest because his last start was Saturday at Colorado, right? Colorado, not a pitcher's park. And what did Cueto do? 4 hits and 8 scoreless innings. Now, Drew Hutchinson is going for Toronto. He's won 5 straight home starts. In fact, he's 7-1 at the Rogers Center with a 2.21 earned run average. But let's face it, he does well because the Jays scored tons of runs for him. Who, in fact, in case you happen to be on Jeopardy, who is the pitcher that gets more run support than anybody else in baseball? Drew Hutchinson. Go figure. 7.83 runs a game. Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke, and Cole Hamels would just say, Corey Kluber, all 4 of those guys would say, could you just give me a couple of them? Just a couple? That's all I need. Jays won last night 5-2, but I like Kansas City to rebound today. I'm also going with the Boston Red Sox because they won a game last night. Now, true, they had lost 12 of their prior 14, but they won a game last night. I like actually the way that Eduardo Rodriguez, the rookie, has been pitching for them. Sunday night against Detroit, gave up 3 hits and 1 run in 7 innings. Team has won his last 3 home starts. I think the other 2 were against the Nationals and the Yankees. He's allowed 4 runs on 14 hits and 18 1/3 innings in that stretch. Listen, the Sox are hitting the ball. They just haven't been getting any pitching. In fact, their last 5, in their last 5 games, I think they've hit over 320 or 328, something like that, and have scored 33 runs. Ramirez is going for the Rays, 6.94 earned run average in 3 career starts against the Red Sox. Coming off a rough start last Saturday against Baltimore, although I will play devil's advocate and point out that he had been brilliant in his prior 9 starts with a 1.929 earned run average and a 6-1 record. But this is really more of a play betting on the Red Sox and their offense at home. And going against the Rays on the road, Tampa has dropped 12 of its last 15 outside of that white elephant known as Tropicana Field, which I'm going to visit. In fact, I'll be down there next week. So anyway, I'm going to go with the Red Sox minus $1.15 and Kansas City minus $1.20. Those are your 2 complimentary plays. I wish you well, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.